Hello and welcome back, ladies. If this is your first time here, my name is JAKS and this is my channel where I share my infertility, IVF, adoption, parenting, and now pregnancy journey. This week is my 6-week update, which is exciting because it was our first ultrasound. The way I do these updates is I do them in 3 parts. I do the baby update, I do the mama update, and then I do the husband update. Eventually, I am hoping to get him to actually sit down for one of these clips. Until then, I just tell you how he's been doing. So first off, the baby update. The baby is about the size of a ladybug, still real tiny, but actually looking human-like might be a stretch, shrimp-like might be a little bit more, but there's definitely a head and a body, and there's tiny little stubs where arms and legs will be. So still just a very, very malformed gummy bear at this point. Exciting updates with baby development, other than looking like a shrimp instead of a blob. The umbilical cord should be connecting this week, which is exciting because that means the umbilical cord is connecting to what will eventually be the placenta, and once the placenta starts functioning, then hormones get produced by the placenta, not by your body, and then that helps with morning sickness. Foreshadowing for later. Probably the most exciting update though is that we had our first ultrasound. So because this is an IVF pregnancy, you get your ultrasound pretty early, so I went in at 6 weeks, 3 days, and you can go watch the vlog of that up there because it was definitely a stressful day. For this update, I will keep it light. Essentially, heart rate was good. It was 127 beats per minute. And they were measuring right on track. So everything looked good there, and we were officially given the okay to make an appointment with my OB, graduate the fertility clinic. A lot less pomp and fanfare than previous because COVID, and we were at the hospital instead of like our fertility clinic for this scan. So kind of lackluster because normally they give you like a cute little like folder and it's like, you graduated. Whatever, not important. Point is, ultrasound was good. And then the last update that I'm putting in the baby category is that we got them on the wait list at the daycare. This varies from country to country and it varies across the US, but here in Kansas City, we have a childcare shortage. So despite the fact that I would like a September 1st start date, the daycare still just gave me the waiting list long, we'll see what we can do type thing. For reference, it's October. So almost a complete year later, and I'm still on the wait list. Fingers crossed we'll be able to get in. For comparison, for Evangeline, we got her on the daycare, or on this list in June 2019. We got in March of this year, but that's only because of COVID. They essentially kicked out everybody who was a non-essential worker, and then I got to steal their spots. So even that, 9 months later, and I still wasn't at the top of the list. They were still projecting May. I get a whole year for me to get in. So that's cool. We're on the daycare list. Oh my gosh, were the daycare teachers so pumped. They just squealed when I said I needed on the list. I was like not ready for that response at all, but I'm glad because obviously like they need to like babies. They work at a daycare, but it was just a lot at like 7 in the morning. All right, on to mama updates. At the end of week 6, I was weighing in at 148.8, so that's a little bit over starting weight, and honestly, I'm a little bit shocked that was up at all, given the amount of morning sickness I've been feeling. This has definitely been the worst week for that. There's been a few mad dashes to the bathroom. So, quick story, but I'm so hungry because I'm not eating, but I'm so nauseous, so I can't put anything in. But one night I went to bed and I'm like, I just want eggs and bacon for breakfast. And so I woke up the next day, bound and determined to make myself some eggs and bacon. So I did. I made myself eggs, bacon, and toast. And I was eating it and it was all fine. It was all fine. And all of a sudden, one bite of toast hit me so wrong. And I just had to spit it out and I ran to the bathroom. And I was just like, oh, this sucks. It's the peak of it. I know. It's the absolute worst. Like I said, I think I'm still doing okay because every like 5th day, I'm okay. And I just stuff my face. So then it's okay. But I'm also dealing with just, I'm taking progesterone. And normally during a pregnancy, you'd be producing progesterone anyway. which just causes your whole digestive system to relax. So I think that's also part of my issue, is that nothing's moving. And so it feels gross and bloated and just to begin with, and then you add morning sickness on top of it. No. So trying to ramp up my digestive health regime, lots of water, lots of fiber, walking, try to get things moving to see if that won't help alleviate some of that nausea. Along the lines of bloating, my waist was measuring around a solid 27 inches, maybe a little bit more. I'm not that great at measuring it, to be honest. I think once, I get bigger, it'll be a little bit more pronounced, that change. But for now, I think it's just all bloat. I have just fully embraced the fatigue and sleepiness at this point. I am sleeping 8 to 9 hours a day. Sometimes at night, if I can get a 30-40 minute nap in the middle of the day, I will do that. Because I'm not using my lunch hour to eat anyway. So napping then. And then, like I said, I'm just going to bed at 8:30, 9. We get up before 6:30 in this house most days, because eventually doesn't sleep in. / that's just when we need to get ready for work. But it's a little, hurts a little to get up at 6:30 on the weekends, but whatever. My back is still sore. I think I mentioned it last update. Those injections are starting to get rough. Not the actual injections themselves so much, but it's sore whenever those areas touch a chair or couch or whatever when I'm trying to sit or sleep. And also when I pick up Evangeline now, her back leg just rides on those spots. I can only hold her for so long before that starts to hurt so much. Almost done. Just a few more weeks of that. I get to stop at week 10. So the first day of week 10 is my last injection. So I'm so thankful that those are almost done. So close. So close. Honestly, it's a little bizarre. I'm so used to having medication 5 times a day. It's gonna be so bizarre when you just stop. You don't wean off of it. You just stop. So I'm gonna go from medication 5 times a day to none. It's gonna be so weird. And finally, the last weird pregnancy related thing going on with me this week is temperature control is out the window. I can't control my temperature anymore, which isn't totally new. Normally I'm cold all the time, but now I'm cold, hot, taking on and off jackets. I know this is just hormones messing with me, but it is a weird symptom going on. And finally, the husband's update. He's not here right now, so I can't go fetch him. Because I am actually off today, and so I'm filming a lot and filming this update, so I can't go ask him. But the latest thing with the husband is he just likes adding the phrase blanking for 2 to whatever. So of course the classic ones are sleeping for 2 and eating for 2. He just throws it in on weird things that don't have anything to do with cleaning for 2 or gaming for 2. And I was like, that's not how that phrase works. But it's a very lighthearted way to acknowledge our pregnancy, and when we're still in this scary time, I think it's exactly what both of us need, is just a little bit of humor around this. All right, that is my update for this week. Please let me know if you are also pregnant and following along on this journey. I really appreciate it. I love following your stories. And until next time, ladies, keep on fighting.